Would you like to talk about your thesis, your research you did to complete your degree?
Yeah, so my master's degree was about orgasmic meditation. So orgasmic meditation, it's a mindfulness practice that you practice with another person. So you are two. And for 15 minutes, it's going to be clitoral stimulation. And so this practice, it's a mindfulness practice with a container, and that you follow, you know, the steps, the philosophy, and everything. And you've been trained by a certified coach. And so I did this practice. I've been certified as a coach. And my question was like, yeah, so what does it really, what is the impact of, you know, orgasmic meditation in your relationship? And so what I did for my master's thesis, I studied this with 10 couples. So I trained, you know, couples in Canada. I was in Canada at the time, so in Canada and in Belgium. And before training them as orgasmic meditation, I give them through tests, a lot of tests about mindfulness, tests about sexual satisfaction, about sexual function. And then I train them and I ask them to practice orgasmic meditation for 6 weeks. Because usually the mindfulness, the studies about mindfulness practice, it's lasts 6 weeks. So that's why I ask them to practice 6 weeks. And at the end of the 6 weeks, I give them the same tests: mindfulness, sexual satisfaction, relationship satisfaction, and everything. And I compare the two at the before the practice and after the practice. So 10 couples, it's not much to really make a general thing. But it's a tendency, and what I could notice, it's like usually like the sexual satisfaction went up as the same as the relationship satisfaction.
Mm.
And this you might can explain because people were doing, you know, taking time for their relationship, because the orgasmic meditation is for 15 minutes, like more or less like 20 if you do, you know, you prepare the material and then you do all the things. And nowadays in our societies, we are going very fast, and people having the excuse of, I don't have time for my relationship, I'm so busy. It's just a matter of priority, I will say. And in this thesis, at least, you know, people had to practice and to take time for the relationship, which leads to a better communication, which leads like a better intimacy and connection, because they were doing this practice together and they were talking about it afterwards. So what I like about orgasmic meditation, it really works on different aspects, which is, you know, desire. Like, would you like to do this practice with me? Like about consent. Yes, I would love. No, thank you. Like about surrender. You're really going through the steps and then you can really surrender, which is also good for your well-being and sexual life. And it's about connection, because you're doing it with someone else. And you're doing it, you know, as like the same as when you play like a physical activity with someone, with a friend, and you feel that there's some of a connection. And it's also about communication. Because, you know, when you desire something, it's good to desire, and then, you know, it's very good also to communicate your desire. And if you communicate well, then you can have a consent. And if you have the consent, then you can surrender into the experience and feel connected.
Thank you. I feel validated now because I also practice this, and I can just, you know, just base it on my own. But it's good to see that you've applied some rigor into the study and the method of, you know, scientific method, and yeah, and it confirms my own experience. Very interesting. Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad, and yes, it's a practice where, you know, it's the way we met each other. So, you know, it's also we have good basics, you know, in a relationship, because, you know, we've been trained to this kind of practice.
Yeah, and it's not just the act itself. It permeates my whole life, really. So it's quite interesting. It stayed with me. So I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, and some things that you can apply also in your relationship, like meaning when you have this kind of content and you know it works well on you, and you know you can ask for what you want, then you can apply it in different things, which is at work, with your kids, with your partner, being like, okay, I really want to hug you. Can we hug for 10 minutes on the couch? Yes.
You
You
do
know, you
it.
can apply it differently. At work, maybe not at work, but at work would be like, okay, I really want to talk about these topics.
Yeah.
Can we sit down and talk about it for 15 minutes?
Yeah. Including these things I do with people, talking to people. I ask, do you want to go online and record the video? They say, yeah,
Exactly.
do it. They say, no, fine, thank you. No, no
Yeah, and
further
for me it took
questions. Yeah.
yeah, and for me it took a while, because I think you asked me maybe a year ago, and I was like, I wanted, I had this desire, and I was also very, very scared, I guess. And few months I was like less scared. I really want, and I was less scared. And now I was like, okay, I have the full desire. It's a full yes. So let's do it.
Yeah, I guess that's also a key lesson. Like, I've experienced that also in other things in life. Like, I asked this from someone and I didn't hear from them for a long time. And then I met them again. It's like, whoa. And then suddenly it's on, like, but there was I guess in my experience, that's when a lot of men and women who are production oriented, step one, step two, and this should happen. If this doesn't happen, then I'm not gonna go there. But
Yeah,
different people
sometimes
have different timings,
exactly. It's what I wanted to say. It's a matter
Yeah.
of time. Like
Yeah.
if we would have done it a year ago, it wouldn't have been the same conversation.
Yeah.
And right now it's pretty mature. I have experiences. The Level Center has been on for a year. There's some materials to give you that can enrich also, what the people are going to listen. So that's just about time. Yeah.